There are some great American single malts coming out. If you've never heard of Stranahan's, they're doing some great things. Hi friends, I'm Laura, this is Bigger Drinks. Today we're going to review the new Stranahan's Diamond Peak finished in Extra Añejo Tequila Casks. Now, I know a lot of bourbon drinkers are thinking, I want nothing to do with tequila. I get it. There's plenty of people in my family that are absolutely repulsed by the thought of tequila. I mean, I love tequila, but other people don't, and I understand that. But this is going to be a wild, wild ride. So I'm just going to pour this. Stranahan's, they have several different peaks that they call their bottles. I think this one's the Diamond Peak. It is their special edition bottle for the year. Last year was the first edition, and it's finished in Bushmills Single Malt, and then this year's finished in the Extra Añejo Tequila Casks. So there's only 2 batches so far. We'll go with the one from this year first. I'll compare it to last year's to see if, you know, did they do the right thing picking tequila as what they should finish whiskey in? I mean, that's just wild. But that kind of seems like the world of whiskey right now. You know, there's so many of the same stuff coming out. So let's just give you some stats on the bottle. So it's the Diamond Peak Stranahan's. This is from Denver, Colorado. It's a single malt whiskey, 45% alcohol or 90 proof. So this was 4 to 8-year-old Stranahan's whiskey, and then they aged it in casks that once held the finest Extra Añejo tequila, none other than the prized Reserva de la Familia. Sorry, my Spanish is a little rough, but I looked up those bottles of tequila and they're around $200, at least around here. So it's not cheap garbage tequila that they're finishing this in. And it's crazy. They didn't just, you know, like dip this in the barrel. They aged it for an additional 2 years, actually a little over 2 years in these tequila barrels. So they're getting a lot of flavor from that. You know, for a single malt, that's not bad color. It's not overly dark, but it's, you know, it's not bourbon. I don't expect it to be. It's not freshly charred, so it's not getting that color from that. But, you know, a blend of 4 to 8 year whiskeys, that's a decent age. I haven't spent much time in Colorado, so I don't really know their weather to say if there's a good swing in temperature. I know it's cold in the winter. I'm pretty sure it's pretty warm in the summer, but I don't know if that's an extreme enough change for the whiskey to really be coming in and out of those barrels or not. It's definitely not like Texas whiskey where it's such an extreme, but I love Stranahan's. So let's go in on the nose on this. That doesn't smell like anything I have ever experienced. So I don't drink a lot of tequila exactly. I mean, I'll have it if it's around, but it's not usually my go-to, you know, maybe a margarita when we go out for Mexican food or something, but it's definitely not my go-to alcohol. As you can see, I review whiskeys, so you know, of course it's not my go-to. But that doesn't smell like any tequila I've ever had. That definitely has the notes of a single malt, that kind of tropical fruit that you can get on some of them, or really a lot of them. Wow. It is extremely high in that tropical fruit. And I can't tell you if that's coming from the tequila or the single malt, because some single malts have a lot of that tropical fruit flavor. But I imagine that the tequila also kind of adds some sweetness, that agave, that, you know, it's sweet. Well, let's just go on a taste and see how it goes. Whoa. So that is wild. Actually, not that long ago, we did have, it was actually a rye finished in tequila. And it was so wild that we did it at Bull Run Distilling. It was at a bourbon van meetup. And I mean, no one guessed it correct. No one knew what we were drinking, but everyone loved it. It's just so interesting. You know, I'm always looking for what's the next interesting whiskey. And I think Tequila Casks finish is going to be a huge hit. It adds sweetness, but not overpowering like honey and maple can be. It's not off-putting like Amberana is for me. I know a lot of people love that cinnamon flavor, but it doesn't taste like cinnamon. It tastes like a candle to me. And you know, that's something I'm tending to lean towards for my beverage. But this tequila finish, whoa. I mean, you're gonna have to like single malts. Like, and you know, people get confused with single malt because there's such a wide flavor in single malt whiskey. You know, bourbon, you know what to expect. You know you're going to get like sweet, vanilla, caramel, brown sugar, you know, all those kind of flavors. But when you see single malt, you don't know what you're getting. You can get tropical fruit, you can get like dried fruit, you can get things that are peated and get that smoky flavor. And I mean, it's, I think, more regional flavors than anything else. So this one, highly recommend. It's just interesting, and I can't wait to see what more companies try to do with tequila finishes, because that rye whiskey was interesting. This single malt's interesting. I imagine you can finish pretty much anything in it and it will be interesting. There's just so much flavor coming out of that. Wow, I've got nothing but good things to say about it. But, you know, I never did a review of the Diamond Peak last year, and I think, you know, this sounds interesting as well. Bushmill single malt cask. So this one was a 4-year whiskey that they finished in single malt casks from Bushmill's distillery in Ireland. I assume that Bushmills uses used casks as well, probably bourbon casks. A lot of these Irish whiskeys like to finish in bourbon casks, gives it a little bit of sweetness. They don't do the new casks, so I'm kind of interested in why you would choose that as a finishing, because it's used multiple times, but you never know. Let's compare. Wildly different. Like, I wouldn't even know that this was the same base whiskey. It's so wildly different. This one has, it actually does pick up, so don't listen to what I was saying earlier. This actually does pick up some of that Irish kind of butter cookie, copper pot type of flavor that you get on Bushmills. Oh, that's interesting. I should know that. This is not a brand new bottle. We've had it, but we don't drink it very often. We have so many whiskeys that I kind of forget about what's there. You know, they're tightly packed onto a shelf, and it's hard to, you know, remember everything that you have. Okay. I definitely am getting more familiar with the base spirit flavor because of that one. It definitely has a lot of tropical fruit, a little bit of chocolate, sweet, very balanced. This one feels like a beginner to this one. This one is just so much amped up flavor and wild. I would prefer this one, but someone getting into single malts in general might steer towards this one more. It's just, it's easier to drink, it's sweeter, it's more familiar, where this one's more wild. So Stranahan's, highly recommend. Their Diamond Peak, both of these editions, both I also highly recommend. But remember, they are single malts. So check them out. Get them. This is the 2023 edition. Can't wait to see what they come out with next year. Cheers. Have a great day. I just want to remind you guys that I will be doing a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers on my live stream. We will be giving away a Henry McKenna 10, an Eagle Rare, and a Blanton's. I just need you to subscribe, share my videos, leave comments, anything you can, and then join on the live stream once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching. Cheers.